Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. I think different religions are different doors to the same house. Sometimes I think the house exists, and sometimes I don't. It's the great mystery. Steve Jobs. Then he paused for a second and said, "Yeah, but sometimes, I think it's just like an on-off switch. Click. And you're gone." And then he paused again and said, "And that's why I don't like putting on-off switches on Apple devices." Joy to the world. There is an afterlife. Otherwise, as Dylan says, if you're not busy being born, you're busy dying. That's been one of my mantras: focus and simplicity. Simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean to make it simple. But it's worth it in the end, because once you get there, you can move mountains. Business Week, May 25, 1998. By the way, if you get mad at your Mac laptop and wonder who designed this demonic device, notice the manufacturer's icon on top, an apple with a bite out of it. Follow your heart, Ithilnin, Albirich repeated. Time is precious. Don't waste it living someone else's life. So, your kids must love the iPad? I asked Mr. Steve Jobs, trying to change the subject. The company's first tablet was just hitting the shelves. They haven't used it, he told me. We limit how much technology our kids use at home. NY Times article, September 10, 2014. You know who the best managers are? They are the great individual contributors, who never ever want to be a manager, but decide they have to be manager because no one else is going to be able to do as good a job as them. In 2 days he saw Rupert Murdoch, his son James, and the management of their Wall Street Journal, Arthur Sulzberger Jr., and the top executives at the New York Times, and executives at Time, Fortune, and other Time Incorporated magazines. I would love to help quality journalism, he later said. We can't depend on bloggers for our news. Sometimes, to relieve stress, he would soak his feet in the toilet, a practice that was not as soothing for his colleagues. People who know what they are talking about don't need PowerPoint.